Welcome to the Agape Experience, where we inspire growth, healing, and authentic living. Hey y'all, it's been about 2 weeks. However, for those who follow the transits, let's just say retrograde has been retrograding, and my sign is the one that was most affected. And usually, I could cruise through retrogrades, but baby, this retrograde, it's been one. But I'm here today and I want to jump right on in. Let me take time to give honor for the scenery. I love nature, I love parks, and I decided to move outside today, just for a freshness. It is a beautiful fall day where I live, and I just felt like, you know what, we're gonna switch it up. We're gonna go mid-series, and we're gonna go outside and take advantage of this weather before it gets too cold, because we know how Mother Nature do. We usually get about 2 seasons now. It's either hot or it's cold, and I don't like either. So the days that it's nice outside, I have to take full advantage. And nice being like cool, upper 60s, 70s, that's perfect for me. However, the principle of love that I wanted to touch on today is that love is accountability. And this one today in particular for me hits a little bit different because it's reigning true in my life right now. And I just was like, you know what, that's what we're talking about today, Spirit. We're going to talk about accountability and how the two or how accountability is a part of love, right? And so when you think about accountability is essentially just taking responsibility for your actions, right? Your actions and your words, in my opinion. Definition just says actions, but I say words. Taking accountability for how something that you do or say affect those around you, and most importantly, affect yourself. I think sometimes we leave ourselves out of the equation and we think about love more about as an external thing with other people. But as we hear now, self-love is everywhere, right? It's like everybody's talking about self-love, and in self-love you also have to have accountability with yourself, and taking accountability with yourself as well as others is an act of love, because not only are you honoring in self-love, you're honoring yourself and what it is that you need, but you also are taking accountability for how your actions or your words has affected someone else. And that could be your children, your business partners, your friends, your significant other, anybody. Like, it doesn't have to be just in romance, right? And for me, I've always equated the two or had that a part of love, because we're all on this human experience and we all have our own things that we carry with us, right? And sometimes we could be doing things or responding from something that we've personally experienced, and the other person may not necessarily fully understand or even get it, because they don't see how that's showing up in your connection, right? So to me, when you decide to take accountability and show up for yourself and or others, you give permission for that love to be unconditional, right? Because if you just do things and say things either with self or with others, and you don't take the time to acknowledge the consequences of what you do or say, or you don't take time to have an awareness of how you may be affecting people, you can show up in a way that's not really aligned with how you think you're showing up, right? Like, what you're projecting and what you really feel like you are may not align. So it's like accountability kind of just, to me, opens the floor to have conversation and to acknowledge how you may be affecting someone else or yourself. So let's just take self, right? So taking accountability with self can look like saying that I said I was going to do X, Y, Z, and I haven't taken these action steps because of whatever reason. Whatever the reason is, you haven't taken the steps, right? However, if you continue to do that in your life and you don't take accountability for your actions, you can go so far off of path of where you say you want to be, right? So we'll take weight loss, right? Because I'm on a weight loss journey, and taking my health back. So it's like if you say, okay, I want to hit this goal, or I want to achieve this goal, and you don't take accountability for your daily actions of taking actionable steps to reach that goal, you can look up a year, 2, 5, 6, 10 years later, and there's no change in your body and your health. It could be worse, it could be the same, but there, I guess technically that is change, but you may not have any change in the direction of where you want to go, right? So it's like when it comes to weight loss and having a better health, so in the moment, you may want to go and get fast food because it's convenient and you don't feel like cooking. However, taking accountability for your actions is saying, like, no, this is the goal, this is where I'm going, so I'm going to be accountable and I'm going to cook my food at home. Or I'm going to go to the grocery store and buy something from the grocery store that I can prepare quickly, pop it in the microwave, whatever. However you decide to cook it, microwave, on the stove, you decide to take the more healthier option to align with your goals, right? And then same thing in our relationships with others. If you have a conversation and your intent is to, I'm laughing because this is my personal life right now, but and I just feel like real life experiences, right, is the best way to equate things. So that's why I like to give examples. But if in your everyday life, or you're in a relationship with someone, whether it's a friendship, whatever it is, and y'all have a misunderstanding and your actions hurt them or made them feel some type of way, or even triggered something within them that they may be dealing with, it's not what you saying that is wrong, and it's not that you don't have a right to feel how you feel. However, I feel like in a healthy, loving connection, you will take the time to come to an understanding to say, well, I didn't know you felt like that. I didn't know that my actions made you feel like that. I apologize. This is what I intended. It clears up the mental chatter that a lot of people will experience, or even the triggering, because there's a friend in my life as well that when certain things happen, she internalizes it as she's not good enough, or there's something wrong with her, right? Whereas if there was a conversation for understanding, she could understand that it may not necessarily be something is wrong with her as much as it's a perception issue, or it's an opportunity to grow and see things from another perspective, I guess you would say. So essentially, my point is like when you take accountability, it opens you up to have conversations, whether that's with yourself and spirit because you're on your personal walk, or with other people in the relationship that you have with them. And to me, it's really affirming. I thought it was a beat. It's really affirming that someone holds space for you, at least in my experience. And that may be because I am a huge communicator. I am all about talking it through. Some people don't really care for all that. In my opinion, I feel like that's conditioning, and maybe even the not having the skill set to essentially express what you're feeling, right? I just feel like a lot of times when people are uncomfortable with, certain things, it's because they don't know how to do it, right? So I just feel like when we hold space for each other and we take that accountability to understand from someone else's perspective what our actions may or may not be doing, or our words may or may not be doing, it gives that other person the opportunity to be seen, to be heard. And to me, that creates a feeling of warmth and acceptance. And that goes back to, being loved unconditionally, and love is freedom and acceptance, right? So accountability is just another aspect of it. And then also accountability gives you the opportunity to grow. And because I feel like love is about growth, love isn't just, it's an emotion that we feel, or that we express, shall I say, feel and express. However, to me, love is life, love is God, or God is love, however you want to look at it. So it's just kind of like when you think about God being love, to me that equates to growth and evolution and expansion, because anything that is not growing, that is not expanding, that is not expanding, I said that's not evolving, expanding, and growing, essentially is dying, right? Because stagnant, it breeds, anything that's stagnant breeds death, bacteria, things, all those things that's not good, right? So to me, in order to be able to grow and expand, you have to be accountable. So that's being accountable to how you make people feel, being accountable to your goals, being accountable how you talk to yourself and how you treat yourself, how you take care of your body and your spirit on a daily basis. Like, all of these things kind of tie back to accountability, because accountability takes awareness. It takes being able to ask the hard questions and have the hard conversations. And in that, it produces growth. And then where there's growth, there's love, because love, it ties everything together in my world. So I feel like I got my point across. So essentially, that is what love is to me. Another thing of, or should I say, another aspect of love is being accountable for your actions with yourself, your words with yourself, your actions and your words with other people as well. And when you do that, it just creates an intimacy and a connection that I feel like you can build upon and just both become your best true self. So that's what love, one of the things that love is for me. So I thank you for listening. I hope that you have a wonderful week. I hope that you take time to see how you could be more accountable to yourself and in your relationships, and not just with the adults in your life, but also with your children. Just another side thing, I'm very big on accountability with my child, and he's 6. When I have behaviors and things that are not favorable, I guess you would say, like if I lose my cool or I raise my voice, I take time to be accountable to him, because my thing is I'm the example for him of how he moves through the world, right? So anytime I move in a way that I know is out of frustration or out of anger and all those things, I take time to be accountable to him, and I explain to him that mommy is growing just like he's growing. And I think when we take that care and concern with our children, they grow up being able to take accountability in their own life. So that's just a sidebar. I think that was something that I was led to share. But I think do it with the children in your life, the elderly people, the peers, your significant other, everybody. Like, see how you can be more accountable in your life, because when you can be so narrow-minded or focus on what you're trying to communicate, you can just miss an opportunity to grow and connect on a deeper, intimate level with those people in your life. So I hope you enjoyed this, and until next time, blessings, light, and love.